I met Christopher Reeve at his home in upstate New York. Christopher, can I ask you a question you've been asked millions of times? What happened? What happened that day that you broke your neck?
I think I just didn't pay attention, for a split second, and my horse is a mind reader. I mean, the two of us were such a partnership, and really, he almost knew what I was thinking all the time, which is very helpful in dressage and other things, but the first few jumps on the course were very, very easy. And I remember thinking, they're so easy. I was worried about a jump that I would have to face about 5 minutes later. And I think he just wondered, where'd you go? He wondered where I went mentally. And that gave him a moment of uncertainty, and he stopped, and I wasn't, really paying attention, and I just went over his head, straight down, sort of like a jackknife right into the ground. And managed to actually disconnect my head from my spinal column. And the surgeons managed to put my head back on, which was very, very considerate of them.
You've survived the worst possible neck injury.
Yes, it's called a hangman's injury.
A hangman's injury?
Yeah, that's what happens when they drop you through the trap door, and then they cut down the noose and say, good luck. Go to rehab.
But you are here, you are alive.
Yeah.
What's it like living with that injury?
It's been 5 years now, so even though it is one of the worst injuries that you can have, I'm very, very lucky, because as I understand, you were injured 17 years ago. That was what we call the dark ages now in terms of research, in terms of any hope, for recovery.
Is there frustration of not being able to do the simple things like fix your hair, scratch your nose, have your kids on your knee? Is that worse than just not being able to walk?
Things like that, like needing your eyebrow scratched, or not being able to hug my son. I find other ways. You just have to not mind asking somebody to scratch your eyebrow. It doesn't make you, less of a person or weak or anything. Just, you need some help. I don't mind if somebody opens the door for me. I don't feel patronized. So, but in the larger picture, though, what has taken the greatest amount of learning, really, is alternate ways of expressing love and affection to friends and family, and anyone that I really care to reach out to. I have to reach out in other ways than physically. And at first I thought that would really be terribly difficult, but amazingly enough, with your heart and your brain and your eyes and your intent, your soul, whatever you want to call it, you can learn to communicate much more effectively than you imagined.
How much do you think about walking again? Do you think about it a lot?
Yes, I think about resuming normal activities and wondering how far we'll go. I mean, to stand up and take a few steps would be fantastic. Would be miraculous. But then I'd want more. I'd want to do more. I'd want to.
So when you talk about being able to walk again,
you're not talking. Just hobbling down.
You're not hobbling down. You're proper walking.
Yeah, and if it'll take crutches or a cane for a while, that's all right. But I want to get more back than that, and that's why I keep up a really rigorous program of exercise. I do the walking therapy as well. Of course, it needs a harness to hold me up, but it's helped with my breathing, and it's also created new things. For example, I now have deep pain response. After about 3 or 4 months of doing this repeatedly, training, I have seen 3 patients injured in the T-levels who are up and walking around.
Wow.
On their own. No canes, nothing. They're walking.
You made a television advert quite recently where you were seen walking across a room, presenting an award to a scientist who had cured spinal cord injury.
And it was clearly set in the future.
Why did you do that?
Because it's a motivating vision of what will happen. And again, when you put a vision out, it's more powerful than talking about it. I only did the commercial after consulting with the leading scientists around the world, and I said, am I doing something irresponsible? And he said, no, it's going to be provocative, but it'll be ultimately very, very helpful. So I'm actually glad that it stirred up a lot of controversy.
Do you get disheartened by disabled people telling you or accusing you in the press of creating false hope?
Well, I respect every individual's right to respond to their own injury as they see fit, and that's usually the basis of their approach to me. So there are some people who think I should be taken out and shot, and others who think I'm doing very worthwhile work.
Do you understand, or do you truly believe someone who tells you that they don't aspire to walk again, they're just going to get on with their life?
To be absolutely honest,
Yeah.
I think that's the only way that rationalization is the only way they can survive. That they've come to a mindset that allows them to be able to get up every day. Otherwise, they'd just be just bedridden with despair. So they say, well, I'm perfectly fine in a wheelchair, and I don't really care if there's a cure, and there's nothing wrong with me. And to me, that's denial with a big capital D.
Are you religious? Do you have strong beliefs? Do you believe in miracles?
No, I'm not religious, but I have certain core beliefs. I don't know where they come from, but just ideas or philosophies or expectations that I firmly believe in, and that are just unshakable. So I don't know how to describe it.
You just have a firm belief that you're...
Yeah, but one of my core beliefs is that I will not be spending the rest of my life in a wheelchair, nor will hopefully many hundreds of thousands of people in the same situation.
Will we see Christopher Reeve as Superman again one day?
No, and even if I'd never been injured. I was the custodian of that part in the 70s and 80s. But it's a part that should be reinvented every generation. So you can't have somebody in his late 40s come out, recovered spinal cord victim or not, and play the part. I had my time, it was fine.
Thank you very much for talking to us,
Thank you.
Christopher.